Hello and welcome to Diablo 4. I'm Shadow Coast and welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to explain how Arsenal weapons works, or your arsenal works, playing the Barbarian class. This was a little confusing to me, so after a fair amount of reading up and playing through, I am only level 46, but I've gained a good appreciation playing through the main storyline as the Barbarian. So if you do go on to find this video helpful, please drop a thumbs up. Your support is really appreciated. So let's start off. What is the arsenal? As a barbarian, we can pretty much use virtually any melee weapon class. Now, our arsenal consists of three major slots. So one, what we'll call bludgeoning, two-handed bludgeoning. You can see at the top, so above equip here, two-handed bludgeoning slot. So two-handed maces, warhammers, etc. There. Our next arsenal slot is dual wielding. So here we can dual wield any one-handed weapons. So this can be any combination we like of one-handed swords, maces, a bunch of different gear types we can choose. And then finally we have a two-handed slashing slot. So we have two-handed bludgeoning, dual wielding, one-handed of any really type, one-handed weapon, and then two-handed slashing. So that is our arsenal. Now I posted another video, but real quick, when we pick moves, there are moves that we can select that can use multiple weapon types. So if that is the case, if we have multiple weapon types that we can select from, so I'm going to just drag this one here. What we can do is, as long as we have the ability open, so on mouse and keyboard, that's A. You open your abilities, you can then click the center button down, and then you can rotate between the weapons. So Whirlwind can use any of our arsenal types. If you put it on this one, auto select, it's going to pick the one that does the most damage or has the highest item rating, I believe. It's the highest item rating based off some experimentation, but it's not always clear to me. Or you can manually select to say, hey, I want it to be a specific weapon. Now, when we look at our abilities as Barbarian, there are some abilities that require specific types of weapons. So basically it uses a specific arsenal type. So if we look at Frenzy, for example, so we're going to go ahead and put Frenzy here as our main one. If we click down, we can't rotate. So I'm clicking on this, nothing's happening, and that is because Frenzy requires dual wielded weapons. So that arsenal slot we have to use. We don't have a choice for anything else. Now, if we go over here, we have Lunge Strike, requires any complete arsenal weapon. So that you can pretty much use any arsenal weapon here. We don't have it learned right now, so we can't use that. So let's go ahead and say Whirlwind, which we saw here, requires any complete arsenal weapon. So if we go here, we can use any of the weapon types because that's all that's required. So I'm going to swap this back in. Now, if you want to switch between weapons while you're fighting, assuming you can have moves that use different weapons, we can then easily swap in or swap between weapons very quickly. So if let's say here, I have to open this up, I'm going to select bludgeoning, right? And over here we have, well, we want something, right over here we have dual wield. I can be using my dual wield weapons, and then as soon as I activate the bludgeoning, I will automatically switch weapons in the fight because that's how I've manually selected it. So if you're picking moves that require you to swap between weapons to generate fury, that is how you do it. You assign different arsenal types to different moves and then use those moves, and you will in combat automatically switch between them. It's impossible to open this up and switch during combat, so assign them beforehand and then it'll work. So here, if I'm using Frenzy against an enemy and then start whirlwinding, I will automatically switch weapons because I've manually selected different weapons or a different arsenal spot to use. So that is how the arsenal works for Barbarian. Hopefully you found this video somewhat informative. If you did, please drop a thumbs up. Your support is much appreciated. I hope to see you in future videos. Shadow Coast out.